situation over the 12 years that I've been here entertaining you on television. Welcome to Hot Topics, Sharina Hudson. Getting out of my car with my money. Good morning, Journey. She'll be almost I think she'll be 3 next month, don't you know? Good morning, Kelvin. It's my truth.
Sharina Hudson just learned the hard way that she'd been barking up the wrong tree from the very beginning. The moment she linked up with Kevin Hunter, the writing was already on the wall. And let's be honest, Kevin and Sharina weren't even hiding it. They were fully prepared to build a whole life together, comfortably funded by Wendy's money, without a single ounce of guilt or hesitation. What Sharina thought was loyalty turned out to be a long-running scheme she never saw coming.
A lot of time because, you know, I'm getting emotional. And I told myself I wasn't going to do this.
But here's where everything really spirals. Ever since Wendy walked away from the Wendy Williams show and was placed under that devastating guardianship, Kevin's cash pipeline dried up overnight. His money bag? Empty, child. And trust, he has been scrambling. Filing lawsuit after lawsuit, pulling every trick he could think of to get Wendy to bankroll his lifestyle again. But when his latest lawsuit got tossed out of court, the whispers started. Folks are saying Kevin dipped on Sharina the same way he bailed on Wendy. And the strangest part? Sharina practically vanished. While Kevin was out here dragging those lawsuits through every courtroom he could find, she deactivated her Instagram and disappeared completely off the grid. Now, after months of silence, we're finally about to learn where Sharina has been hiding and why she stayed gone so long.
Till death do us part.
And it wasn't just an incident. I mean, the relationship that Kevin had with this woman went on for...
No. Kevin was a serial cheater. Kevin had different mistresses depending on, the part of his life. This last one was the one that he had the longest term relationship.
As many of you already know, Wendy has been fighting an uphill battle, one she never asked for and never should have been dragged into. She's been trying to break free from that guardianship that was slapped on her without cause, and now the truth is finally bubbling to the surface. A new assessment confirmed what her fans suspected all along. Wendy was never sick, and she never had dementia. Yet that was the very excuse used to keep her locked under strict guardianship for more than 3 years. And when you look closer, it's clear the whole thing wasn't just a misunderstanding, it was a coordinated effort. From the judge, to her former manager, to her doctor, to Wells Fargo, and even the guardian herself, Sabrina Moresi, they all seemed perfectly aligned in one goal, making sure Wendy didn't touch a single dime of her own money. But here's the thing about karma, it might move slow, but baby, it never misses its stop. And everybody involved? They've got something coming.
Death to all of them.
Now that this bombshell information is out in the open, Wendy may finally be on the verge of ending this exploitative guardianship once and for all. She might finally get to close this painful chapter and reclaim the freedom that never should have been taken from her. But let's be real. Just because she's getting her life back doesn't mean she's heading straight into a return to primetime television or jumping back into work anytime soon. And Wendy stepping away from the spotlight didn't just affect her, it sent shockwaves through everyone connected to her. Fans, critics, her team, everybody felt it. Even the people who don't like her. And yes, that includes Kevin Hunter and his mistress, Sharina, who were both living far too comfortably off Wendy's success.
And had gone to LA for business. And I hired a PI. Yes, I did. I hired a PI to follow my husband. And this guy is telling me that Kevin is in Miami with the girl. This is where you show the picture of them on the beach. You know the picture where she's going to the camera and he's laying there on the cell phone like they're chilling like a couple. You understand what I'm saying? The PI was taking pictures of them going to the gym, going to dinner, her with Gucci, Poochie, and Lucha.
When Wendy stepped away from the Wendy Williams show, she didn't just lose her platform, she lost a massive stream of income. And that one change flipped Kevin Hunter's entire world upside down. Because tucked inside their divorce decree was a brilliant little clause. If Wendy's contract was ever suspended or not renewed, she was no longer obligated to pay him a dime in alimony. Whoever insisted on adding that clause? A straight-up mastermind. Because let's be honest, Kevin fully intended to live off Wendy's money for the rest of his life. His whole plan crumbled the moment her show ended, and he's been scrambling ever since.
But what I needed at the time, because I was running 100 miles an hour, and I was so much of a strong support structure for her and all the dreams that she wanted to accomplish, I needed somebody for me. And my new offspring, my daughter, who is a beautiful, beautiful spirit, she was not a oops baby. She was not a mistake baby.
Kevin allegedly walked away from the divorce with a hefty lump sum and a jaw-dropping alimony check, reportedly around $250,000 a month. Wild, right? But here's where his whole plan fell apart. He never once considered the possibility that Wendy might get sick, or that the gravy train could come to a screeching halt. Because the moment those alimony checks stopped rolling in, Kevin sprinted right back to court, scrambling for any loophole that would force Wendy to support him again. In 2022, he filed a lawsuit begging for the payments to resume, claiming he was broke, drowning in debt, and behind on his bills. He said he couldn't keep up with the payments required by his upscale homeowners association, meaning foreclosure was knocking on his door. He couldn't even afford the car insurance on the luxury toys he was so proud of. On top of that, his credit card bills were piling up faster than he could breathe. By the time he filed the lawsuit, things were clearly spiraling. He had taken out loans on 2 of his luxury cars through a company called Flex Wealth, and he and Sharina were left with no choice but to put their lover's penthouse up for sale because they couldn't maintain it without Wendy's money. In other words, they were basically homeless, living the consequences of the lifestyle they built on someone else's dime.
You left your wife. Now, we may not care about her on the show. That's different. But you left your wife. Got you a side piece. Had a baby and was living a whole different life. And evidently, Wendy Williams was the real bread maker. Because now you can't live that lifestyle without that check. The grass wasn't greener, huh?
And of course, that lawsuit didn't go his way. The court tossed it out without hesitation. But Kevin didn't stay down for long. The minute one door closed, he went hunting for another scheme to walk through. By 2024, he came back with an even wilder claim. He accused Wendy of hiding over $48 million during their divorce and demanded that the entire divorce be thrown out so he could start over. The court wasn't buying a single word, but the fact that he was willing to drag himself and Wendy through another messy divorce battle just to squeeze out more money was downright unbelievable. Then earlier this year, he took things even further. Kevin filed yet another lawsuit, this time demanding $250 million in damages from Wells Fargo, Wendy's guardian, and pretty much anyone else involved in her guardianship. He claimed he was doing this on Wendy's behalf, arguing that her constitutional rights were violated and that he had been defrauded by the court-appointed guardians. It was clear by this point, Kevin wasn't fighting for justice. He was fighting for a paycheck. So Kevin went from suing Wendy to suing anyone who so much as touched her bank account. And look, setting aside whatever feelings we all have about Kevin, his lawsuit did something unexpected. It exposed just how deep the scheme ran. It revealed the planning, coordination, and behind-the-scenes maneuvering allegedly done by Wells Fargo, the judge, the guardian, and the people in Wendy's circle, all working together to strip her of everything she had spent her entire career building. But even with these revelations, nobody is giving Kevin a standing ovation. Because let's be real, there is no way he's doing any of this out of loyalty to Wendy. He's not her husband anymore. He doesn't have power of attorney. And he can't file on behalf of her son since he's now an adult. This wasn't a rescue mission. This was a money grab, and a sloppy one at that. If anything, it only shows how desperate Kevin has become, reaching for any angle, no matter how absurd, to get his hands on Wendy's money. And according to sources, his financial mess isn't the only thing falling apart. His relationship with Sharina has been crumbling right alongside it. As the money problems started creeping in, things between Sharina and Kevin took a sharp turn. Arguments broke out left and right about what their next move should be, because let's be honest, the whole reason Sharina linked up with Kevin was for the soft life, not the struggle life. But suddenly, that lifestyle dried up fast. With Kevin's income evaporating, even Sharina Hudson had to get up and hustle. She tried pushing her vegan food business, but it wasn't making any real money. Eventually, she went and got her real estate license, selling homes in Florida just to keep herself afloat. Meanwhile, reports claim Kevin hasn't paid a dime in child support and doesn't plan to until his finances bounce back, which, at this point, feels like a distant dream. And as the tension hit an all-time high, Sharina quietly locked down her Instagram and allegedly moved back in with her mother to get her money situation under control. The soft life she signed up for? It vanished the moment Wendy's checks stopped. And now Sharina is suddenly back online, trying to rebuild her life from the ground up. She's promoting her business nonstop, asking people to hire her as a real estate agent, and even selling her homemade gut health products. Her entire aesthetic has flipped. Gone are the soft life vibes and luxury posts. Now it's all about skills, hustle, and survival, because she's doing everything she can to keep herself and her daughter afloat. And allegedly, she and Kevin have gone their separate ways. We don't have official confirmation yet, but the signs are loud enough. Their relationship collapsing like this has a lot of people calling it karma, because honestly, what did Sharina expect? You can't build a soft life on another woman's hard-earned money and assume it will last forever. I don't wish bad on anyone, but Sharina had to learn the hard way that karma never forgets. I could never imagine living with a man who depends on someone else's money, especially another woman's. Sharina played vulture, and it came back to bite her. And Kevin? He's a narcissist who fully planned to live off Wendy for the rest of his life, dragging Sharina right along with him. So no, I don't feel bad for either of them. But what about you? Were y'all expecting Sharina and Kevin to break up this fast? Drop your thoughts in the comments and make sure you like and subscribe for more tea. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, baddies.